Yeet! Welcome to the Paradigm Shift, episode 75. Wow! 3/4, baby! Waiting for Big Dave to hop on right now. We got a very special treat as a guest coming on today. Somebody I met when I went to Big Dave's office hours launch party. Super excited to bring him on. Albert, we're going to bring him on in 5, less than 5. Just waiting for Big Dave right now, the sex icon. Goes by many names, actually. Oh, Helene Siegel in the house. Very good to see you, Mom, as always. Big Dave. Sexy salad eating, handsome hamster, sex octopus. Sin in the house. Yeet. Everybody's out today. Alaska. Yeet. Big Dave. Woo!
Hello, Craig Siegel and Craig Siegel's mom. How are you?
You're going to see her sooner than later at the wedding.
I will be at that wedding, however, in whatever capacity you want me there in my best dressed attire.
Yeah, but don't forget about the bachelor party, Big Dave.
You got to talk to Julie about that. She's on heavy restriction when it comes to bachelor parties. I have a history that I've learned from. So you're going to have to talk to her. She has given me different times. She's given me referral. So we'll see if it happens with Craig Siegel, the Eagle.
Yeah, but you're a changed man. You're a little bit more mature these days.
I know she still doesn't want to expose me to any type of reversion. So I will do my best. Like I said, she's let me go before. It just depends on the individual. If it's someone like you, I think we have a shot.
I did. And I'm
If your mom comes, then we for sure will have a shot.
Oh, 100% done. See you as always. I just flew in from San Antonio this morning. I had another keynote. These things really light me up. It's so much fun. I'm getting better every single time I step out there, just like anything in life with experience. But there's no place in the world I'd rather be than right here with you today. We got a special guest coming on. But let's dive in. Let's get nuts. You ready for me?
I'm ready, buddy. What's going on?
What is a good paradigm shift for dealing with and handling one's ego?
Yeah, I think, understanding the utilization of the ego. And when I talk about that is that one of the practices that I have many of my mentees pursuing, including you, is to identify what the ego is first and then utilize the ego. And what I mean by that is ego edges goodness out of our life. It edges gold out of our life. It edges God out of our lives. And to understand the ego, to understand its needs, and to practice identifying when we are in activity that is aligned with those needs. So we have a need to be offended, something that you have to work on. I have to work on even worse. A need to be right. A need to be right. A need to be inferior. A need to be, all short people like you and I, we have a need to be inferior because of and I'll tell you why, because we are putting meaning in defining moments and inflection points in our past. And so because of the meaning, which is the only limitation that we give to the past of those inflection points or defined moments, our ego protects ourselves and says, okay, I know you got a need to be inferior because you're short, or you have a need to be superior because other people have made fun of you for being short, or you just have to be and have a need to be separate because people haven't let you play a certain position or a certain sport or picked you first because you're short. And you might giggle and laugh out of insecurity and projection of your own insecurity, as I have and do with certain things in my past. But the truth is, it's there. And what we need to teach people is to practice identifying and prioritizing the needs of our own egos based off of the meaning of the inflection points and defined moments of our past so that we can utilize the fear. We can utilize it for two purposes. One, if we can utilize that fear, like Tom Brady when he was drafted 4th round, he utilized his fear that he wasn't good enough, that he got dissed, chip on his shoulder. He utilized it to get up, get started, get back started, and he utilized it for years and years. He actually told Mr. Kraft when he got drafted 4th, and everybody laughed at him, scoffed at him, and made fun of him, that he thought he was the greatest quarterback of all times, and told Robert Kraft, sir, you just made the greatest decision of your life, the best 4th round draft pick in the history of football you just made, sir. But he was utilizing his fear his fear of the need to be angry, upset, frustrated, guilty, resentful, offended, all these different things that he has practiced identifying. He utilized it every day to get up and get there first and to be the last one to leave. But I'll tell you where he utilized it most is that as much as everybody knows Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all times, and statistics and Super Bowls all prove that, he was able to not only identify his fear, but utilize it to get him up, get him started, get him back started. But where most people don't realize is he utilized it then to get him there. Meaning the utilization to get up and get started of fear is great, but those who are truly successful utilize it to get out of their own way, to identify the fear, and instead of resist it, fight it, go over it, under it, through it, around it, lie to it, manipulate it, cheat it, deny it, Tom Brady stops. He breathes and he says to himself, okay, I'm up. I'm ready to go. Let me go ahead and know what is it I want in a trajectory of what I think I want in the future. Who can help me and who can I help? How best can I get this done? Reconciling time with productivity, accessibility, and gratitude, prioritizing everything in my life accordingly to what I want, not what other people think, not what you don't want, not what's missing, but what I want. And so not only am I going to utilize fear to get me up and tell Mr. Crap I'm going to be the greatest ever, but I'm going to use it to get out of my way and prove that I'm the greatest ever. And I'll tell you, if you don't believe me, then look to see who did not show up to preseason. Tom Brady. Why? Because he knows every single day he's allowed to change his mind. He's allowed to learn lessons, grow, and change. And so he now prioritizes his family over football. Therefore, he left spring training and he said to everyone, I don't care what you think. I don't care what's missing, what I don't have. I'm prioritizing what I want because I'm the greatest ever. And I'm continually to utilize fear in the trajectory of what I want in my future, or I think I want in my future, and I'm allowed to change my mind every day from the lessons I've learned, from the defining moments and inflection points of the past that I give meaning to, and he gives meaning to that past different today after all those Super Bowls and MVPs than he did when he came on from Michigan and told Mr. Kraft, sir, you just made the greatest choice you've ever made. Bam.
I gotta be honest with you, if I have a suggestion, you should cut that soundbite and make that a podcast episode. Look, there's probably no bigger fan of you than me. That was awesome. You got red hot and fired up to that, but the answer was phenomenal, right? Because so many people talk about dismissing the ego and burying it, but you find a way to utilize it and use it to propel you, just as the analogy you gave with Tom Brady. And I know I'll never forget what you're referring to, because I remember when I was coming up on Wall Street, there was like this YouTube motivational video, and they used to have Robert Kraft talking about that moment when Tom Brady came up to him, looked him laser in the eye, and said, I'm the best decision this organization has ever met. But I do want to challenge you on this for a second. Are you sure he was a 4th round pick and not even later?
Maybe a 6th round. I get Joe Montana and Tom Brady mixed up. I know Joe might have been 4 and Tom might have been 6, or vice versa. But yeah, obviously, if you can pick up the greatest of all time anywhere after or even in the 1st round, it's a good decision. And I would say Robert Kraft will tell you, beyond Bill Belichick, Tom Brady's the best decision he's made. And he didn't even have to pay a lot of money for him.
Yeah, that was an awesome answer. The delivery, the articulation, I don't even know if that's a word, but just everything. Thank you for that. The audience is better for it. I'm better for it. I love you. I'm going to bring on Albert, who I met at your lunch party.
Great guy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, no surprise there. You only surround yourself with the highest frequency.
I try to let the others fall away and fire the ones that are liars, cheaters, manipulators, oversellers, back-end sellers, and deniers, the guys who can't get anything done. You know who you are, by the way. You know who you are.
Ooh, shots fired. Also, real quick, side note, how much beautiful brisket did you consume last night?
Oh my gosh, I went to Vegas, Dallas, and home. I surrounded myself with the right people, the right ideas. I want to thank everyone at Veritone that I was with. And, Alberto, ¿qué pasó? ¿Por qué no comes la comida, amigo? Ven aquí.
¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Hey, guys. Hey, first of all, man, hey, you guys are fucking killing it. Whatever, like, I was hearing you, Dave. You put on so much value, and like I don't even know what to say after that speech that you gave the last 10 minutes. I took a lot of notes. Like
Thank you,
I don't know
brother.
how to beat that. Yeah,
Yeah, you
so
don't have to. We're working together, collaborating in a coordinated movement to help other people. That's why I wanted Craig to bring you on, is I love people that we can collaborate with to rise all tides together.
Yeah,
awesome,
but
brother. Well, I'm here with the family. My family's over there.
That's beautiful.
Some presents
Hi.
here in
You
Puerto
all kicked
Rico.
your coverage, man.
thank you for making the time, brother. I'm excited to connect to you again. Thank you for joining us while you're away on a little bit of a trip. We appreciate it. You ready to rock?
Yeah, ready. How can I serve you
What?
guys?
Yeah, I'm such a fan of yours, brother, and I was checking out your content like I do, and also the audience should as well. And something that I saw you talking about, which is really cool and really valuable to anybody on the conversation today, is being able to stay overly productive. Can you elaborate on that, brother?
Yeah, well, one of the main things that I always tell people is that, like, let's say you make 1 million a year. If you make 1 million a year or 500,000 a year, whatever you make, some more, some less, make sure that you divide that by 20/80. That way you find out what your hourly worth is worth, and that way everything else you can delegate it, because you could hire an assistant to delegate everything else, and then you could focus only on what your hourly worth is worth. Because, like, I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I think that there's so many things we can do, but if we focus on our strengths, we're gonna reach our goals way faster like that.
Yeah.
It's so.
Uh,
Oh, sorry,
okay.
Craig. I was gonna say, man, I was so smart because where people lose out on productivity is they don't understand the limitation of time, right? What we do, the activities we have each day is limited only by the 24 hours we're given. So to use time per hour as a dependent variable of how much productivity versus the activity that we get paid for, and anything that's below that line or threshold, it only makes mathematical sense to outsource it or give it away or delegate it, because we create a margin for everything that sits below what we are on average getting paid, especially if we want to consider gradually growing that to over $1 million a year. So that's one of the ways that we increase not only productivity, but the average amount that we're paid for that activity. Now, one of the other things that we can utilize time, YouTube, to, and I created this when I first started working, I call it the rule of 64, is that, look, if people are basing how much money they're going to pay you off an 8-hour day, then imagine being more productive by having 16 hours of productivity a day, 7 days a week. Just by doing that, by the way, right? Now you have 2 days of productivity times seven. You're getting 14 days of productivity versus most people 5 days. You've already tripled the amount of income that you can make simply by giving 16 hours of productivity. Now imagine if you do that twice as efficiently by delegating, by creating systems, by using technology. Now you could have 32 hours of productivity, 7 days a week. Now it's 4 times 7. That's 28 days of productivity. Now you're 5 times productive of the other people that you're surrounded with or in an organization. Now, what if you practice and took yourself seriously? What if you were more interested than interesting? What if you were professional about what you did and went the extra mile every day, not every once in a while, justifying why you aren't where Albert is, why you can't be where he is, by saying, well, I went the extra mile 2 weeks ago. What if you do that and you become twice as statistically successful? Now you got 64 hours of productivity a day, 7 days a week. That 8 times 7, that's 56 days of productivity compared to an average person's 5. Now you're 11 times as productive a week. No wonder you're getting paid 10, 12, 20 times as amount per hour as everyone else. But if you don't do the math like Albert teaches, you ain't going to get there. So know that 2880, know that 1440, whatever number you're using, take 64 hours of productivity a day, times it by 7, go the extra mile every single day, and you won't have to justify why you're not where you want to be.
Yeah. And before you jump in, Dave, I'm just curious, what was in your
I am fired up, man. I'm going to Def Leppard, Poison tonight. My wife's birthday, our anniversary. I got all my friends coming. I'm fired up to take my daughter to college tomorrow, my third youngest daughter. I'm fired up over life. I just got back from being with Cuban and Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. We were down in Dallas working on that podcast conference that we keynoted. I'm just fired up to be blessed. Blessed. I'm not going to take for granted what other people dream of. I'm telling you that right now.
Yeah, awesome. But audience, I say this. My biggest experience when it came to mine is back. I think my when you grow, that I think the next level, and I think that's most valuable. Yeah, all good. Albert, can you hear us perfectly?
It cut off like the last 10 seconds. Now I can
Yeah.
hear it better. Now it's better.
Okay, good. I wanted to ask you this, brother, because a lot of entrepreneurs listen to our show. Dave does this so well, but I see you doing it. It's really impressive. It's really making emphasis on developing a leadership culture. What are some tactics that you utilize for that?
Well, I think you guys can also attest to this, but I think when you climb the ladder, your success more depends now on building other people more successful than you. So, like for me, what I've been doing is I've been focusing on building leaders, and I have this 80-20 rule, and there's names that people call it, but the way I see it, just explaining it really basic, is that 20% of your sales force is going to provide 80% of your sales revenue. So I can't keep everybody happy, but I could keep 20% people happy. So I focus on those 20%ers because I know that as long as I keep those people, I'm going to blow up and the company's going to blow up. So when I try to focus on everybody, like, it never works. You can't keep everybody happy. But those 20%ers are going to create 80% of the revenue for the company. So I focus on the 20%ers. And how do you guys feel about that? Because keeping everybody happy is just impossible. That's what I found throughout the years. Maybe you guys know a secret, but it's impossible to keep everybody happy.
Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, man. Look, there's a great chain of feeding, and you got to feed those that feed you. And 20% of the business absolutely is created 80% of the business by 20% of the people, and you got to feed those that feed you. It's okay, though, to utilize the other 80% in order to effectuate above breaking even. And although you want to focus or feed those that feed you. And I think as far as culture, corporate culture, the biggest mistake, and I've been around a long time with this mistake, I trust myself too much. I give myself far too much credit as a leader. See, a great leader is an intelligent follower, but what you have to learn as an intelligent follower is that just because you go over your corporate values, your mission statement, I can't tell you, I don't think anybody talks about gratitude, forgiveness, accountability, and effective communication, making a lot of money, helping a lot of people, and having a lot of fun. That's what my business is made off of. But I'm amazed. I give myself too credit. I teach it Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Craig, as you know, to my own company. I pour into my own company. But yet, Albert, man, it's ironic because only 20% of the people get it. Even though I do it I give myself too credit that it's not what I say, it's what they hear, and they're not hearing me because I can't even reach 80% of my own company. In varying degrees, they understand my culture. And by ironically, the ones who understand the culture most are that 20% that's doing 80% of the business, and the 80% that doesn't understand the culture is doing 20% of the business. So I utilize that great chain of feeding in order to effectuate my attention and intention, everything I do, say, think, believe, and feel into the 20% that's making it happen.
Yeah. Can you guys be on you guys for some family fun? We'll land the plane with this. Albert, and brother, what were some of the cool things that you discovered with 30 days no drinking?
Can you repeat that really quick?
I think he
We'll
said,
cut off.
what are the things you didn't drink for 30 days, right, Craig?
Yeah, 32.
Yeah.
32. What'd you learn from that? What's your biggest takeaway?
Number one, I wanted to be more present for my daughters. I wanted to be a better father, and number 2 and 3 and 4, I just wanted to be a better husband, a better son, and it ends with being a better leader for the company. So I think that right now a lot of people are going through changes and the recession and things people see in the news. I wanted to make sure that I was 100%, and I came on this trip with the family because we had it planned. It's our baby moon. We're having baby number 3. So thank you for that. But after this, I plan on going back another 30, 40, 50 days. I don't know, not drinking, because I like not drinking because I like being focused 100%. And if I was kicking everybody's ass while I was drinking, I think that if I don't drink, I can kick everybody's ass faster. So that motivates me to put all the competitors out of business and to be number one. And I'm driven by being number one. I think everybody should go for number one, because number one is number one, and nobody remembers number 2 or number 3.
I love it. Let me regurgitate what Albert said, right? So I stem and have made that paradigm shift from drugs and alcohol myself, because I was competitive using drugs and alcohol, partying, not paying attention and giving intention to the things that were most important to me, my health, my family, and the activity I get paid for. And if you think you can drink and do drugs and party and not interfere with your health, your family, and the activity you get paid for, you're fooling yourself. And even though you're good enough to be in the top 10% by using alcohol, drugs, and partying and doing things you shouldn't be doing, imagine what happens when you can go ahead and clear that interference. You are number one, man. You are your potential. What are you doing to interfere with it? I promise you, alcohol, drugs, and partying is interfering with your potential health, your potential family, and your potential activity you get paid for. That's why Andy Frisella 75 Hard is so positive and so constructive in doing so. There's so many other programs. You got to follow Albert, man. This guy gets it. He articulates in a different vernacular vocabulary than me or Craig and me and Albert. And that's the beauty of the frequency that we all come at, because we all share the same expectation and same journey, full of peace, love, harmony, but also going the extra mile every day. Man, I can't wait to congratulate you in person, celebrate you. There's nothing better than your third. Oh, yes, there is your fourth, but I'm not going to talk. I know you got a long journey so you get there. I'm going to talk to my third and fourth right now. They just walked by. I appreciate both you guys so much.
Albert, thank you so much for joining us, brother. We appreciate it. I'm looking forward to connecting with you further.
Awesome, guys. Hey, and once again, just want to thank you guys for you guys' work ethic. If somebody wants to learn work ethic, they got to follow Craig. They got to follow Dave. You guys work so hard. You guys, I don't know how many, you're always online. Whenever I go on my Instagram, you're always live. So, like, I don't know how you do it, but, you know, I want to be like you guys. You guys are awesome, man. Keep doing it. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Love
Congrats.
you guys. Yeah, let's all win together, man. Love you guys.
Love you too. Thank you, brother.
As a wise man once told me, consistency is a superpower.
Awesome. Yeah, it is. 100%. See you guys.
See you guys. Thank you, Craigie Poo. The Eagles, eagling out. Eagling out.
Love you guys. Take care. Have a good weekend. Yeet. What an awesome conversation. Episode number 75 in the books. If you guys aren't following Albert, you should change that immediately. He's awesome. He's got some great things going on. And straight up, his content is really inspirational. Go take a dive. And Big Dave on fire today in rare form. We appreciate it. Thank you for bringing the heat. Love you. And I'm sure we'll chat later. Tune in next week for episode 76, guys, because consistency is a superpower. And we just want to give back to all you beautiful humans on a nice Saturday afternoon, and just hope that the song that we're singing resonates with your soul and it changes your perspective, or better yet, causes a paradigm shift. If you guys aren't in the CLS texting community, text the number below, totally free. Daily inspirational nuggets. We love you guys. And also feel free to share and post about it, and let us know what topics you want us to cover. We want to make you guys happy, and we want to deliver whatever it is that you guys need at the moment. Love you guys. Have an awesome weekend.